So I was laughing to myself because you know how there's so much that has to be done in order to do things. I've never been that girl. I've always been the most basic in the most luxurious of ways. So I've just never done the most, right? And there's several reasons why not. The main reason is you can't identify one woman who has done the most and also succeeded, or also remained sane, or also remained coy, like in order for you to do the most, you're performing. Beginning, end. If you're doing the most, you're performing. But so this is why I'm so happy to be able to chat again, because I have so many things on my biscuit. And the logic behind men is so simply beautiful that I said, no, I have to share this with the world, because I recognize every ounce of effort that women put into themselves in a doing the most way is how it literally is how much men believe or trust or will give effort to make the relationship anything less than plastic. Because within itself, right? Like if we're gonna go back to the basic parts of life, essentially the purpose of life, or the reason why we were created, I've learned, is to get back to the beginning, to get back to the basics, to get back to the fundamentals of being African, aka being human, aka being evolved, a species of humans that have evolved, right? That's the purpose of being born. But we'll get into that a little bit later. I've had really close friendships with men my whole life, like platonic friendships. And the one thing I can respect from each of them is the reciprocity received in real time. But that's also based off of who I am, right? Like I can't take what I don't give. If I don't disrespect you, don't disrespect me. But I'm a Scorpio, right? So it's like I give exactly what I want back. Exactly. That was just like, I thought to myself, like, wow, I give exactly what I want back. Does it mean that it's going to come back in the way that I want it? And God is going. These revelations just be the tipping point of the journey, right? Because it's like, once Allah reveals in your dreams what is to manifest on earth, it is your faith, it is your belief that keeps you attached to the revelations as opposed to the fuckery. But I believe that's also why Scorpios are number one fuck around, find out, because everybody fucks around. And then when we want you to find out exactly what you was fucking around with, everybody, oh, she's this, she's that, she's... That's not fair, because she, being a water sign for men of understanding, is a complete reflection. So whatever you're getting from Nicole is what you give to me. Point blank. And this is like across the board. And that's why my human resume will speak for itself, because however people speak about me, the next question you have to ask is why? Right? Why did things happen the way they did? Or why do you perceive her the way you do? Or whatever happened. what we have to understand is everything that's happening outside of us is really outside of us. And we're only viewing, observing how people perceive you. But then you got to put the next layer on top of it, because then it's your perception of what they're perceiving that's usually going to trigger you, because it's going to go back to a childhood moment of some type of trauma, some type of wound, some type of shame, guilt, or abandonment. And then you're going to either react or you're going to respond. But all these perceptions are all colored by our childhood. So it's like, wow, as adults, we're fighting. You're really just two kids beefing it up, you know? So that's why us Scorpios, like, we don't really have much beef, because we stay to ourselves. Like, we do our own thing. Like, we're quiet, we're chill, we're calm people. It's not until you come and bring whatever you bring that we got to be like, oh, you thought I was, okay, I am the one. The 2 and the 3. Let's go. Bing bong. Oh God, yeah, I'm just happy. I'm excited that I'm back. I haven't made a video since 2023. So like almost 2 years ago. And when I say that was like a major turning point, but I'm still on the road, on the journey with these revelations. And it's now that I know they are revelations, but then it was just the most vivid dreams I've ever had. So I just wake up like, you understand? But then now I understand why, because when you read the book, aka the Bible, God says, write it down. Everything, you write it down. But you're like probably not listening, because nobody keeps journals like they should. And then you get to a point in the journey when the journals become the prophecy of the revelations that you received in your dreams, because it's manifesting now on earth. But that simplicity is too for people, because it's like, how much clearer could the message be? But then that makes me understand that, well, excuse me, I won't say it makes me understand that. It's when I got to the point in the Quran of understanding, like, Allah, if you're deaf, you're dumb, and you're blind, or any of these, it is in purpose. It's not when I was like, oh, let's pray the gay away. No, it's not about that. Everything that's happening to you is in purpose. The problem is most people are staying in the lust, the evil spirited realm, instead of figuring out, God said this, I'm feeling this. Let me figure out how I get back to where? The beginning, the basics. And then I hear some people saying, well, you don't know who was there. I know you all wasn't there, because specifically the books say y'all wasn't there. But that's why most people, listen, I am not gray. I am not lukewarm. And that saved my life, because when you read in Revelations, I think it is. It was so funny. My friend was like, did you know that? Yes, I know these chapters. I know these verses. I know this because this is what saved my life. You understand? So it's like when God says, get in this book, I read the Bible 3 times since 2021. What's up? What's popping? Like, because when someone is at your head, like when someone is coming for you, but it's in a spiritual realm, who are you going to call? Ghostbusters? I definitely, if there was a Ghostbusters, would I have called them? I'm gonna be honest, I would not have. Like, I'm really a solo dolo kind of girl. Like, I've been like that my whole life. And I also don't like to drag other people into my stuff, you know, because I'm thinking it's all me. I'm thinking it's all about me, you know, that narcissistic way of being. And even in that process, that narcissistic way of being saved my life. I'm God's favorite narc, right? Like, I needed to be so about me so that I could be in my space on my own, doing my thing. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm very clear that there's 2 types of people. There's believers and there's unbelievers. You understand? So if you're like, oh, what's she saying? Peace be unto you, brother and sister. Please keep it pushing. Because what I also don't do is, like, you're not gonna, that love and light is not real. It's really some bullshit that keeps you caught in a trance of more bullshit. Are you like, this is how I can tell no one has read the Bible. God is light. Within him, there is no darkness. So he's saying, if you fucking with me, there is no darkness within you. But then, as God has said, we're all sinners, so we all got some darkness. So instead of being these Pharisees, these Christians, and pretending, let's just fuck with the individual darkness, heal that, and then we can work with the collective light. Because I don't know any of these people that people are talking about at this moment, but I do know for a fact all of it is a cult. It just depends what cult you're attached to. And that was, interesting enough, the gift and the curse, right? My whole life, I did not want to be initiated by any, I'm talking about when I was in the hood, nope, I don't want to be a blood. When I went to school, nope, I don't want to be in sorority. Like, I didn't want to be attached to anything that could tell me what to do because I already knew my body. Nobody could tell me what to do. So when people see me going along, maybe they think I'm just like accepting what they're telling me to do instead of realizing, nah, like this is, I fuck with it. I fuck with it. Until you do that, I'm like, oh no, I don't fuck with that. No. I don't. I'm gonna keep it, you know what I'm saying? And then people think in that, maybe in that breath, that I'm being different when I'm always being true to myself. Like, I don't know what you're seeing, but at the end of the day, and I was thinking about this morning, I love my husband to death. I love that man. And guess who I love more? You see the point? Like, as much as I love him, I love myself more. So it's no problem with me being in love with this man. There's no problem with me pouring into this man, loving this man, because no matter what I pour and love into him, I've done it. Like, it's more for me. You understand? If everyone goes into that situation, everyone will receive. You understand? Because I would never want my husband to love me over himself. You know, we're equals, right? So we're supposed to equally love one another, but we're supposed to equally love ourselves separately just as much, because that's how you keep it. That's how you keep it tight, right? Because it's like when you always can come back to yourself and the purpose and the core and the meaning and the reason why you're doing it, then it automatically pours into the next thing, which is what? Our union. You understand? And the next thing is our children. And so it's like, once everything clicks, once everything is set in place, in alignment, like you would like to say, like, at this point, I need some water. At this point, all these words that people say, they're fucking cap. Nobody's fucking in alignment, yo. Y'all are all fucking living in hell. Y'all are all cap. Like, y'all are just poor Americans. Poor Americans. I used to be a poor American, so don't be like, oh, who's this bitch? I used to be a poor American too. So please don't come over here with like, I think I'm holier than that. But I am. I really, really am, right? Like on some, you have to think, in order to speak with this level of confidence, there has to be a level of reassurance about the power and the authority given to you to speak so clearly. So, yeah, I'm really grateful to be able to be the example of what not to do, right? Like, these churches, they're all occult. It's all occult. It's all occult. But this is why I say I'm God's favorite narc, because I grew up My family has a church, so I was born into a church. By the age of 6, cap, like there was no more. I didn't go to church. So from 6 until 37. Wait, hold on. 42, 7. 42 take away 7 is 35. Right? Yeah. So until I was like 35, I didn't go to church. Like I didn't go to church. And for many reasons, but the main one, I'm like, how many generations y'all been doing this building fund and no one has built any fund? Like I would, it's like there's these unspoken jokes about the church in the Black community. The Blacks, they call them. People are like, do you know the Blacks? I don't know the Blacks, but it's just interesting growing up in America because everything is stratus. Like there's a not a strategy. Well, there is a strategy, but a stratosphere, like not the rings, the things that go up. It's like just different levels of bullshit. Like no one speaks straight. No one says what they have to say, and it's very difficult to just be. There's no one in America who's just being themselves. It's impossible because nobody from America is. So America, like let's make a metaphor. America is a slave ship. You just have to figure out what country did they steal you from. Even y'all's. Didn't they just show that his okay.